Hello everyone and welcome to Burn Your Books, Open Your Mind. I am your friend and host BYBOYM and you are watching Foundation for NEET. We have already started with the first chapter in our course Life Processes, Digestion and Absorption. Today we are going to begin with the fifth topic, that is photosynthesis. The word photosynthesis is made up of two words. Photo means light, synthesis means to form. So, photosynthesis refers to the formation of something by using light. Let us see what. It is a process by which green plants and other organisms convert light energy into chemical energy. The light energy is derived from the sun and is converted and stored as carbohydrates. The requirements of photosynthesis are: number 1, a light source. For outdoor plants, the source of light is usually the sun, whereas for indoor plant, an artificial source of light is used. Number 3, carbon dioxide, which is a gas present in the atmosphere. We animals release carbon dioxide as a product of respiration. Number 4, water, that is present in the atmosphere as well as in oceans, lakes and rivers. But plants require water that is usually present in the soil. In the case of terrestrial plant and in the case of aquatic plants, they are already submerged in water. Oxygen is evolved as a byproduct in this process. Let us see how. Chemically, the reaction of photosynthesis can be summarized as, they are saying it summarized because this is not a chemical reaction in a single step. That means this is a multi-step reaction, but we have summarized it for the sake of convenience. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 12 molecules of water are utilized along with light energy from sun in the chloroplast to produce 1 molecule of glucose, and 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of oxygen are evolved. Now here you can understand why green plants are very important, because we release carbon dioxide which is consumed by green plants to synthesize glucose which is utilized by us, and oxygen is released as a byproduct which is again consumed by us. So we are completely dependent upon green plants. If we kill green plants, we are indeed killing ourselves. So here you can understand why there is a need to conserve green plants and to conserve nature. The energy from the sun is converted and stored in the form of chemical bonds. Yes, it is stored in the form of chemical bonds. The new molecules that are synthesized, they have chemical bonds. These molecules, when they are broken, the bond is also broken and the energy is released. That energy is utilized by the organism to fuel different processes. Initially, the energy is generated in the form of ATP and NADPH. These are molecules which photosynthetic organisms use to synthesize carbohydrates. What is the point of synthesizing carbohydrates? For different activities, energy is required. For energy, glucose is to be broken down. So glucose is produced by photosynthesis, and this glucose is stored in the form of starch in plants, and this same glucose is stored in the form of glycogen in animals. So both starch as well as glycogen are example of storage polysaccharides, whereas glucose can also produce a structural polysaccharide, a polymer again, that is cellulose, which is present in plants. How do plants get carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere? They have specialized structures that are tiny pores called stomata. Stomata are found in the epidermis of leaves and other soft parts of the plant. They are microscopic pore complexes. You can see in front of your screen that we have a stomatal pore or aperture surrounded by 2 kidney-shaped cells. These kidney-shaped cells are the guard cells. They contain nucleus, they contain chloroplast. And point of information here is that guard cells are the only epidermal cells that have chloroplast in them, so they are the only photosynthetic cells. They are surrounded by subsidiary cells. Now, a typical structure of a stomata consists of a stomatal aperture. Aperture here refers to pore or an opening. and two guard cells. The two guard cells surround the stomatal aperture, and their outer and lateral walls are relatively thinner than their inner wall. They function to open and close the stomatal aperture by undergoing rapid turgor changes. So, how do these rapid turgor changes happen? When water flows in the guard cells, the cell becomes turgid and the stomatal pore opens, that you can see on the left hand side. When water flows out of guard cells, the guard cells become flaccid and the pore closes, that you can see on the right hand side. Now the question comes, where does photosynthesis occur? Photosynthesis is observed in all the green parts of the plant where chlorophyll pigment is present. A typical leaf anatomy shows an outer waxy cuticle beneath which the epidermis is present on both leaf surfaces, that is on the upper side as well as on the lower side. The waxy cuticle is usually limited to the upper surface, while the epidermis is present on both the surfaces. The outer and inner epidermis encloses vascular bundles, that is xylem and phloem, and mesophyll cells. These mesophyll cells are rich in chloroplast. These are cell organelles in which photosynthesis occurs. Now we will take a look at the structure of a chloroplast, the cell organelle in which photosynthesis takes place. So if we take a green leaf, we will find different cell layers: the waxy cuticle, the epidermis, then the vascular bundles and mesophyll cell layers. In the mesophyll cell, you will find abundant chloroplast. We will take a look at the structure of a chloroplast. A typical chloroplast is a double membrane structure. Now mitochondria and chloroplast, these are double membrane structure, and they are called as semi-autonomous organelles because they have their own DNA and they have their own ribosome. They have their protein making machinery and they have their own DNA. We have a theory that says that at some point of time, both the chloroplast as well as mitochondria were different, separate organisms that were engulfed by a protocell, and now we have a cell, eukaryotic cell, that has both chloroplast and mitochondria, and these are responsible for energy generation and utilization. So we have chloroplast DNA, we have ribosome. The fluid filled matrix of chloroplast is called the stroma. Now we have two membranes, an inner membrane and an outer membrane, and the space present in between is known as the intermembrane space. Now an important structure here is the thylakoid. Now these thylakoids are the units where real photosynthesis takes place. The photosynthetic pigments are present in their membrane. So stacks of these thylakoids are known as grana. A singular would be called as granum. So we have lipid droplets, and the product of synthesis, that is glucose, is stored as starch. So you will find starch granules present in here. So chlorophyll absorbs light wavelength in the red and blue region but reflects the light that is in the green region. That is why we have this greeny look of these leaves. I hope you enjoyed the video. You are watching Burn Your Books, Open Your Mind.